I used to be so ugly in my past life, and we're talking like 10, 15 years ago when I was supposedly in my prime. I was in my 30s. But when I look back at pictures of myself, my eyes look dead. My skin is so dull. Like, I don't look happy. I don't look pretty at all. And yeah, I have a filter on right now just because I like looking at myself with a filter, but this is me without one. I mean, it's not that much different. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to go for the filter because I like recording videos when I look better. But I digress. The point is, when I look back at pictures of myself in my 30s, people can't, by the way, people can't believe that I'm 47. I am 47 years old, okay? When I look back at pictures of myself in my 30s, like 33, 34, I look older than I do today. And a huge reason why that is because I was not in my feminine. I was in my masculine. What does that even mean? It means I was hustling for my worth. I was in a religion that was teaching me that I was never good enough. So I was constantly hustling to be good enough for the church, to be good enough for my friends, to be good enough for my family, to be good enough for everybody. And it was making me exhausted. I was just hustling. Not to mention I was in a marriage where he was very much in his feminine, meaning I was handling all the emotional labor. He was going to work every day, but I was literally like handling all of his emotions around the stress at work. I was his unpaid therapist. I was the kids' emotional sounding board, and I was the only one that was actually like looking out for their emotional needs. And I just felt like I had to do the most. Like I was constantly helping him with his business, constantly trying to think of like the semantics of our life, like, you know, cleaning out the garage and organizing the closets and just like doing everything that I'm realizing now really should be something that your man does for you. And that's going to make a lot of people mad. That would have made me mad like a year ago, but it's true. Like men are really good at being task oriented, at getting things done, at like working and having a list and getting shit done on the list. And a really good man is a man who can just, he's a self-starter and he can do all that stuff without you telling him that he needs to get it done or like giving him a honey-do list. He just does it. He sees what needs to be done and he does it. He's task-oriented. But in my last relationship, that is not the case. He was not task-oriented. It was me having to nag him and bug him and give him a honey-do list to get stuff done. So let's just say, long story short, I was in my masculine. I was doing the role of the masculine in my life. And when a woman does that, she can't be in her feminine. I'm realizing now after that marriage ended and I had to be in my masculine for 4 years as a single mom. And then when I met my man now, who's my husband now, he is so in his masculine that he is putting me in my feminine. And looking back on the time before I met him when I was single, I was putting myself in my feminine myself. Like, even though I was a single mom and I had to do the most, I was really cultivating my femininity. If you're in a masculine state, like you're in charge of everything and you have to show up for everybody or it doesn't get done, there are ways that you can cultivate your femininity. You can do both and you can really hold fast and be loyal to your femininity and like developing your femininity. And I was doing that even as a single mom. So I attracted a man in his masculine. Polarity is a thing. And if you have a healed femininity, you will attract a person in their healed masculinity. And the great thing about that is once you're together and you're working together, you bring out each other's feminine and masculine. Whatever your core energy is that you affiliate with, that is your dominant energy, when you're in a healed relationship with somebody, they bring out that dominant energy even more. So like being with him brings out more of my femininity, and him being with me brings out more of his masculinity. It's like this give and take, like you bounce off of each other. So I want to do a series where I talk about how to cultivate your femininity. And this is something that you can do whether you're in a relationship or not. If you're not in a relationship, do it anyway, because you will then give off feminine energy and you will attract a masculine polarity energy into your life, and you'll also be happier and more restful. When you're embodying the energy that is most dominant in you, that is how you live your happiest, most peaceful, most beautiful life. And to circle back to my original point, it is how you are your prettiest. It's how you look your best, because you are embodying the energy you were meant to embody, and it is emanating out of you and creating a more beautiful exterior, but more than that, a more beautiful interior, which brings in a more beautiful life, because who you are on your interior, your subconscious, actually manifests and creates your reality. So I'm going to do a series where I talk about how to get in touch with your divine femininity, and I'm going to be doing it over the next few weeks. So follow along for more if you're interested.